When Captain Otto was a boy, his father told him that if he didn't behave, the Woodland King would come. But now he is a soldier of the Empire. With him are his brothers in arms, and they fear no god save for Sigmar.
These curs cannot be suffered to live.
Orion, in all of his hubris, sent the ancient tree man Durthu to Wissenland.
Show them that nothing can stand before the fury of the storm!
The men of Solland provided a proper answer, violent, loud, and destructive. At Gelt's command, they followed the Wood Elves into their Fey realm. Before the Oak of Ages, their army brought forth all the technological achievements of mankind to the fray. Wood splintered, bones cracked, and the master of the Wild Hunt was slain. During the conflict, Gelt sent envoys to the Dwarf realms. The holds were nearly lost until the wizard united them together. An alliance of dwarfs, singular in purpose and intent. Now the men of Solland turn to the north, where disease and perversion have taken root. Too long had the demons marched freely. Too long has the heretic lived. With Captain Otto and Gelt at the forefront, this infernal enemy will be cleansed.
The war is endless.
We return now to our story. Captain Otto and Gelt have maintained the borders of Solland since the Woodland War. The Southern Empire, under the administration of Gelt, is now a land of prosperity, though there are many deadly challenges that await our brave soldiers. We'll begin by talking about the 3rd Solander Army, led by the former garrison commander of Fort Sol, General Bernhard. He was recommended by the Grand Crusader for the position. Under his command is Hunter Captain Adam Isabel, Slayer Engineer Malachi Mackayson, and the Bright Wizard Constantine Franken. The 3rd Army's purpose is to aid High King Thorgrim in his reclamation of the Dwarfen lands under Greenskin control. Thankfully, the dwarves of Karak-Hern have confederated with the High King, and so the dwarves were able to endure. If they continue to thrive and we're able to help them out, there will be a southern shield built here against the Greenskin threat that will keep Solland safe. That way we'll be able to focus on our northern problems. To the west, we have what once belonged to the Wood Elves of Laurelorn. To provide a countermeasure against enemies in that salient, the Elves of Laurelorn were gifted the magical woods. On the eastern front, the 2nd Solander Army, led by the Grand Crusader, stands ready to invade Ostermark. We no longer have just Nurgle's disciples to worry about, but also Slaanesh. Their corruption runs deep, and it'll take the pious men of Sigmar to right those heresies. Outside of Nuln, we have the 1st Solander Army, led by Gelt and Captain Otto, who are about to battle Nurgle's Lot. As Reichland holds, their assistance will prove to be pivotal in rebuilding the Empire. If all goes well, we'll be able to move north to Middenland. For one major addition to our game, we have Empire Encampments. It provides Empire Camps, which is a mechanic much like the Ogre Camps. You can create these on the map and develop them over time, meaning that even if you're in hostile territory, you could have a friendly base of operations that's going to benefit you and allow you to project your power even further. There's also field camps for every Imperial army, which only makes sense that you would have a camp for your men. It's like the Vampire Coast Horde mechanic. This means you can go on proper expeditions with your forces, something really needed if you would like to project your power across the map. So here, we've got all these different benefits that will only grow over time, but of course, that takes time to develop because you need growth for your own field camp. And even a few leaders like Gelt have unique buildings for them. And finally, we have Bravado, where you gain glory in battle. This resource can be spent to provide temporary bonuses to your army. It's not only a flavorful addition, but an awesome, pragmatic one that will allow your Imperial armies to march far beyond the borders of the Empire and to even accrue a few benefits after winning a battle or two. Like over here, we've got 20 glory. I could spend it on a buff that will last for 10 turns. So with a new tool that we have here, if we want to, we could venture pretty far beyond the Empire. But now we're finally ready to begin our story. Now that we know all about our new situation, let's have a look at General Bernhard. I've been able to fuse a few redundant items to build better magical items, so he's got the Trickster's Helm, which is okay until you look at the ward save of 10%. A ward save will negate all forms of damage, not just missile, magical, or whatever, all of them together. Then we've got the Bloodbringer. He's been made a proper Elector count. That provides a benefit to his melee attack, weapon strength, and also a debuff to our enemies in battle. Compounding that, we've got the White Cloak of Ulrich, a rare item. plus 12 to armor, and a reduction to enemy melee attack and speed. That's why he's got 94 for melee attack. For his skills, it's all about his own personal capabilities in battle. 94. That means he's going to be able to hit anyone, constantly. Now, for what god or goddess we might dedicate him to, it could be Ulrich. He's got the cloak for it. Maybe he's a bit more about Ulrich. Let's have a look now. For our army, we've got 2 groups of great swords, slayers, 4 groups of halberdiers, handgunners, and a dwarf air force. That's going to be pretty interesting. We're all about hunting down large creatures. Now, for the enemy army, they've got a lot of squigs. Not only that, but trolls too. It's going to be a painful battle. Hopefully we're going to be able to outlast them and focus down whatever terrible creatures they have. They've got over here 1 lava Arachnarok spider. Oh boy. Thankfully, we've got allies in the form of a garrison at Auchendorf who could help us out, though it will take them time to get over here. But for right now, let's begin our first battle. Here's where we have a very challenging situation right now. We're fighting a rather large greenskin army. Let's have a look at our formation before we get into the actual maneuvers that will see our victory won out. So over here is where we have our main army, the main wing of it. We've got 2 groups of our soul guard, our halberdiers, right over here. At the forefront, our leaders. In a sort of like checkered type of formation, we've got our riflemen on the left and the right hand side of that center formation. To the right of them, we've got of course more melee infantry, including slayers. The entire goal is to utilize our ranged armor piercing capabilities to break them apart. Now, don't forget, we do have our air force. That's going to be pivotal. We're going to need them to go after major targets, ones like trolls, chariots, and more. The greenskin army, they're coming in, and of course, further on the corner of the map, through the trees right over there, we've got dwarfs who will eventually be here. 1 minute and 30 seconds. And here we go right now, we're trying to go after a few more annoying targets, such as wolf chariots. They're advancing right now. But if we focus fire, if we continue to break them apart, we're going to see a nice victory result from that. They might even try to go after them with more ranged units like archers, and they could take some decent punishment. You don't want ranged units to focus on your air force, but they can take some punishment. Look at them now. They are suppressed, reduced in speed, so they're moving a bit slower. They're even on fire, and already many are dropping. They're falling apart. By the time they get to us, they're going to be hit again. Now the chariots have broken. They'll probably come back, but they have broken. Yeah, once they get a little bit closer, you can see the range of our gunners right over here. Once they reach that arc, we'll be able to shoot at them. However, keep in mind, you need a clear line of sight. If you don't have that clear line of sight, you're going to have a very hard time getting your riflemen to actually shoot at anything at all. So we need that for sure. Now, let's go back over here and have a look. The Air Force again is watching over them. The Greenskin Army, they're advancing, being led by that Arachnarok Spider. Look at their trolls, their squigs, and more. It's a challenge for us, but I feel like we've got the tools. I've tried to use a variety of different army formats in order to just really allow us to try different tactics and maneuvers in order to see victory from just a series of, well, choices that aren't always the same. Where it's like, okay, we're just going to go over here, we're going to do that. So now we've got to fight in a slightly different way. And there we go now. I'm getting all of my copters here to focus on that Arachnarok Spider. 120 armor, it's been suppressed. We want to go after it. We want our leaders to shoot it. We've got Malachi, we've got a Witch Hunter and more. They're all going to focus on it. Look at him move forward now. He's going to unleash in just a moment. That should slow it down. Once we do that, it's going to fall apart. There's a flash bomb being used by Malachi, so speed has been reduced even more. Look at the damage it's taken. It's now trying to break, but it's not going to go anywhere. So not only was it suppressed, it was being flash bombed as well. There's blood all over, and that blasted spider's gone. That's all it took. So now we've got squigs coming over here. So while that is going on, let's have a brief look. We're going into slow motion only briefly because we need to have a look at our dwarf friends who are moving through the trees. I could have allowed them to take more damage by hiding, but I didn't want to do that. I felt like General Bernhard, Berengar was another name that I had for him, but Bernhard is his name. He wouldn't do that. So we've got over here a bunch of dwarfs who are just advancing, and they're going to fight in the trees. They'll take some casualties because they've got a lot of light infantry. They're not really that heavy. I mean, light for dwarves. You know what I mean. Lower tier. Not nearly as bulky. Let's come back over here. So we've got our leaders on the front lines. We don't want to use them the entire time. They're going to take a lot of damage if we do that, but it's a great way to bunch them all up. So why do I have halberdiers right over here? Largely because it's going to allow my riflemen to do their job, to be able to flank them, because they're going to focus on our few leaders right over there. Now, our copters, they're moving away. They dealt a lot of damage. The chariots are still around. The riflemen, they're shooting. They're doing what they need to. Our halberdiers are charging in right now. And it looks like at the moment they're holding. They're doing okay. They've got a decent amount of weapon strength. They are being poisoned, which is not ideal. But these trolls are not going to be able to hold there for the entire fight. Eventually, they're going to break. So over here, we've got another group of trolls trying to charge in. Some rock trolls. They're flanking slightly, but they're also exposing themselves to our halberdiers, who have anti-large armor-piercing capabilities, and those charges are not nearly as effectual. So we zip out real quick to have a look at the map. If we rotate a bit, we can see where my copters are at. Our war machines, our flying ones, they're moving around. We're trying to bomb what we can of their archers. Like over here, we had some bombing runs being done. And they're just shooting point blank at these Night Goblin archers. So now they're fleeing. We come back over here. We can see that my gunners are having to rotate a little bit. My slayers are also in here too, helping out against their many large units. We just have a better look. We can see what's happening right now. So they're all grouped up, and they're just being torn apart at the moment. General Bernhard, a man who knows how to get the job done. So we come back over here. Those trolls were taken out. We're still trying to focus fire. I mean, here are those thunderous shots just smacking right into them. They're having to flee because of it. Then over here, the dwarfs, I mean, they're fighting only a few units, which is really helping me out a lot. Keep that in mind. I'm not having to deal with all of their army. This alone could have changed a little bit of the battle to the point where I would have taken many more casualties. But because of what they've done, because of them fighting out over here, in the sun and the shadow, we've been able to maintain our formation. We come back out real quick. Let's have a nice look. They're all bunched up here. They're greenskins. It only makes sense. We've got some great swords moving in. There's a few of these squigs who are trying to get to us, but these great swords are now coming back over here. The orcs are trying to countercharge, or are they fleeing? Nope, they're countercharging a bit, but they won't deal a lot of damage. So the great swords have already killed 9, 10. Our choppers, copters, choppers, you know what I mean. They're over here just shooting at what's left. And so far, it looks like they've gotten a few decent kills. The riflemen are moving up. See, they were blocked from their line of sight to be able to shoot at these targets from way back over there, which is really a shame, so they had to run forward. I didn't want that. No one wanted that. I wasn't able to use as many abilities for my heroes, but that's okay because we just need them here maintaining our line. We've got other tools. We don't have to use every spell every single time. The great swords are moving out. They've got over 20 kills. These riflemen, they have plenty of kills too. Here's Malachi at 42 kills. He's doing what he's able to. And it looks like we have won the battle. That was only our very first battle, and you can see how we were able to get a resounding win through the use of mixed force tactics. I mean, we had combined arms. The greenskins didn't really have that. They just came in. I mean, they could have had that. They could have had a few more tools, but they chose to just charge in, which is very orc-like of them. So good job. Thank you for being predictable. But there's our first battle won for today. We completely beat them. We lost altogether 257. Our own losses were actually only 69. Nice. We have a look at what we've done. Our Air Force did a lot of heavy fighting. The Sky Hunters 110, 68. Over here, we've got our scouts. Yeah, they did okay. We were able to really focus all of them down. The dwarves did fight in the woods, and they were able to hold off quite a bit of their number. We gained 4 glory, and right now, we're just gonna get a bit more experience. After that battle, we're gonna be able to easily and quickly auto-resolve. We've got a Hedge Wizard providing more winds of magic power, a Ferryman too, if we needed. And Bernhard was able to gain a Pegasus. Good. Yeah, it's really great now that we can have them land on the ground. Let's come over here and fight our battle. Alright, we're gonna auto-resolve real quick. We got them. They're done for. We're gonna pick up, what, 100 more experience? We've got more glory and more gold too. That entire army's been wiped out. So after doing that, we're looking at what, rank 12, General of the Empire. Okay, we're gonna pick up our dedication to Ulrich, which is going to reduce our upkeep. It provides 1 persistent ability to Toge and Ferocity. A bonus when fighting infantry up by 10, which is pretty darn good. We've got down there 1 augment, 1 passive ability, providing more melee attack, charge bonus, and more speed too. Alright, so as long as we're not running away, we're going to be a bit stronger. Now, he's got 2 points to use. We're not going to invest into our Pegasus because eventually we want to use a Gryphon at rank 16, which is only 4 levels away. Hold the line is really good. We want to beef up our units. There we go. More melee defense, more leadership. Let's come over here. Wound Maker for more damage too. We've got that. Now, ready. Adam, let's give to you silver bullets. Ooh, a lot of them. Yeah, we gained a lot of experience for doing that. We'll put 1 point over here into Gutter Fighter. We've got Malachi now. Malachi. At rank 20, you get your airship. I can't wait for that. Let's pick up our 42 pounders. We've got 2 points for it. It's been upgraded now. It's good against armor. Small forward moving area of effect. Nice. Yes, that's going to help out whenever we fight clustered units or, you know, archers. Now over here, we've got our Bright Wizard. For him, let's give him the Burning Head or a few buffs. I do like our buffs. We'll take that right now. Imbuement, flaming, and magical attacks. Oh, I like that a lot for weapon damage and missile damage. We'll take that too. Done. And 1 point over here into the Burning Head. Now we've got some new spells. We're doing better. So we've taken some damage. We need to be careful. We can't quite make it to where we need to. So for now, we're just going to form up our encampment. That way we get to replenish a bit faster and we'll be okay. So over here, what do we want to build? We've got money. 8,551 gold. More replenishment and more army growth. We'll take that. Over here, we could reduce upkeep by 5%. That's going to help out. Here's a lookout for more campaign movement, up by 3%. Some income by 100. And over here, looting crews. More money after battles. We're still not done yet. I might as well get it all out the way. Here's a training field. 10 experience per turn, which is okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. So now General Bernhard is going to be able to rest up, build up his army. Then he's going to move on down to the east. We'll go after the Forest of Gloom, or over here, Varenka Hills. If we have a look at what the Greenskins have done, they have taken over a lot, but the dwarves, because of their confederation, are holding strong. Now, if they confederate again over here with our Karangaz dwarves, then they're going to be even larger and stronger. I don't want to move down here, so my goal is to reclaim Dokkaraz, Barag Dawazbag, Varenka Hills, the Gloom, and maybe, if we need to, we'll go a bit further to the east where we've got Mount Squighorn, the High Place, the Archway over here, and more importantly, Mount Gunbad. Now, Mount Gunbad I would want to keep just because of the gold mine. That would be nice to have, but we'll see though. There's our general plan for what we'll be doing down here. It shouldn't be too difficult for General Bernhard. After that, his veterans will be able to move up north and help us out. Now, let's have a look over here to the northeast. We've got Slaanesh. They've got 2 armies, so I've got to beat their army easily in our first battle at Essen. If I don't do that, then army number 2 from Nagenhof will move on down and attack us. Then we'll be in trouble, so we've got to hit hard, we've got to hit well. For our army, we've got, of course, Captain Wolfgang, we've got Meister Otto, Crusader Luther Nimitz, and Klaus von Sol. All together, they've got a good shot of winning. So what do we want over here? Right now, I think what we want is a bit more campaign movement range, because once we win down here, we'll have to move pretty far and quickly again to take over more lands. We cannot permit them to hold on to imperial towns, and so we have our army here ready to move out. Let's look at our formation. Right over here, we've got our great swords, in addition to, of course, Wolfgang of Sylvania. To our left, we've got halberdiers. Over to the right, we've got our Ironbreakers, in addition to, of course, our warrior priests and our Jade Wizard. They're going to move together. They're going to be key to this victory. They're going to be able to deal a lot of damage just by being around our very powerful melee dwarf infantry. Having them is going to change up a lot. Let's come over here real quick. So, what do we have over here? My artillery. And my knights too. The knights are over there to countercharge anyone who might go after my artillery. We've got, of course, my most powerful artillery, the Emperor's Judgment. To the left, we've got, of course, our missile chariots. They're pretty good, but again, line of sight is a big deal. And the Luminarch is just fun to have. I like watching it zap things. Look at that. The power of magical science. He's like, ah, yes, look at my ball. It is a blue ball. It is my blue ball. But I should not be blue balled. True. And already we're just ripping through a lot of their marauders. They're having a bad day. There's a good day, but that isn't for them today. There we go. They're charging down. They're being turned into fleshy soup. Mmm. Delicious. I know what I'm having for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Maybe brunch too. A murderous brunch. We come back over here to have a look. Now, they're gonna have towers being built up. It'll take them time, but they're gonna have towers being built up. But I like to often use someone like over here, Wolfgang, as my counter tower friend. He's gonna go knock on their tower and say, hey, not today, champ. And he's gonna break it down. So right now, we're gonna spend some time breaking apart things like chariots. I mean, you know how minor settlement battles go. We're the Empire. I'm gonna use my artillery where I can. And that's just what we're doing at the moment. Oh, another chariot gone. Imagine the bumpy ride on that thing. Oh, another one gone too. All right. I don't want to even think about what powers a Slaaneshi vehicle. Like in this case, clearly it's not mechanical in the same way as some of the other Chaos devices, but you know that they're run by fluids. And we're not about that life, no. We're a dry people, we followers of Sigmar, all right? We're not a moist people, not like these guys here. Just glistening. Yeah, you can glisten over there, pal. All right, the artillery is doing their thing. Wait, what's floating? Those were like floating so gently. I guess like it hit them and just kind of gently began to float downwards. That was pretty funny. But already we've killed a lot of them. So while that is going on, of course, Wolfgang is battering down that tower. It might take him time. Sometimes the pathfinding can be a little bit funny and he'll just kind of like move around and not actually hit it. But our Luminarch has 25 kills. The Judgment, look at that, 88 kills. They're so accurate. They're fantastic. I love using cannon. It really depends on like what you're doing, what you're using, what the map is like for your artillery to do well, but that's my tool of choice for today. And the lessons over here, over 100 kills, so a bit more, but look at that. They're almost out of ammunition. They can be really good. Of course, I want my enemies to be grouped up, but you don't always have every opportunity to use things in the most optimal situation. So we're gonna want these Iron Breakers to move up too. I won't always use their satchel charges. They can be very good, but now we're moving up. Of course, that tower is hitting us. We're bloodied, but we're not broken. Yeah, we're just kind of taking it easy. Just going, okay, all right. We'll go up there and say howdy doody. Oh, I do love using my Archlector and, of course, my Warrior Priest. Of course, I would rather call them a Lector. There's only 2 Archlectors, so to have more than 2, it's a little bit strange. I do want to bring back the Offices of the Empire. If you guys aren't familiar, that was a function that we had in the very beginning before they added in the Elector Count system for the Empire as a mechanical system, not just a lore one that we know of. However, the offices work very well. Thankfully, there is a mod that adds them in. I can't add it in mid-campaign, but it's a great mod to add in before you begin your new Empire campaign, because then you get positions to give to individuals, and it makes a bit more sense than making just anyone an Elector Count. I like it. There's a lot that can be done with the Empire to make it feel more like a proper Empire. A type of federation where you've got different cooperating bodies who are just having to work together and having to just do what they can to stay as a uniform force. So here we go. We have our Iron Breakers over here, the first Granite Shields. You'll see that name a lot. I love their coloring too. They look wonderful. So, if our enemies come up, they're gonna have to fight some infantry that has a 150 for armor. Now, what's also really good about them are their shields. They're shielded, of course. They're able to block, what, 55% of all small arms fire. 55%, over half. Now, thankfully, Wolfgang got rid of that tower, and we've been allowing that artillery to just smash right into them. So now we just need to wait for a bit, and that'll be it. Nearly 200 kills. The lessons now have 149, so now the Judgment is getting more kills. They're doing even better. The enemy infantry, they're falling apart. See, They want to charge out. They keep wanting to. They could try to. Of course, they would be countercharged and they would get devastated. I might lose a few knights here and there, but they're going to lose hundreds more if they charge out like that. So they're kind of stuck right now. Of course, eventually we are going to run out of shot and we're going to have to go in. Now we're moving up. Of course, my Jade Wizard, he's going to be using some spells like Awakening of the Wood, the Dwellers Below, to deal a lot of damage to large groups of enemies, because eventually they're going to come towards me. Now we're also going to use Earth Blood and Regrowth to heal up our units and even our heroes too. The Mirror Guard, yeah, they're here. Very Slaneshi. Now they're moving up. 43 from melee attack. They're a little bit fatigued here. Yeah, I picked up a mod that shows you the impact from fatigue so that you don't have to guess. And that's what you're seeing right over there. I can't really get my mouse over it right now, but it's definitely there, and that's why it's actually showing what happens whenever you are fatigued. Alright, so now we're moving up. I didn't use my satchels right away, but they're going to move up, and we're going to allow all of them to fight together. Of course, we're going to use our buffs. We're going to hit them hard. It's a great time for a few cinematic shots where we get to use our Soulfire. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. The Mirror Guard are here. They're already pretty weakened. The Iron Breakers are getting a few hits in. Look at that, damage resistance 20%. So you're seeing what I'm doing here. I've taken one tanky unit and I've made them tankier. Dwarf infantry are hardy, and whenever they're being used around a bunch of ranged units, like of course we've got all of our artillery, then your enemies are going to have a bad time. And I've got too many knights too. My knights are just kind of there as a countermeasure. They can't always all be used together at the same time, but they can be used as different tools for different situations. So now we're trying to move up a little bit. Now, the Luminarch I like because it's got a net, a magical net that immobilizes an enemy. That can be so powerful. You'll see me use it later on to very devastating effect. Now, let's come back over here. That's what I'm talking about. Otto, Jade Wizards are probably one of my favorite types of wizards to use, because not only do you get fantastic killing spells, you get so many damaging spells too, and I find them to be very good. Some flying units, some Furies moving in. The Granite Shields have 25 kills. No one has died from their number yet. That's what they're here for. They're here to just plant their feet. I mean, Otto had over 160 kills. You can see that the first stone axes have been buffed up. Grand Hammer of Sigmar, so even more melee attack. Temporary or not, the cooldown is not very high, so now they keep trying to bring in more and more of their friends to help out. And look at what we're able to do. We're able to outlast them. The Dwellers Below, Awakening of the Wood is what we just saw there. If I ever get anything wrong, you can always correct me and I'll amend that for future parts. Accidents can happen, especially when you're just really going over a lot of information. But so far, I think I've got a pretty good handle on it. Yeah, I was waiting for, of course, our global map mode to come out before tackling Warhammer 3, because I knew that's what we were all waiting for, including me. And it's been a lot of fun. And of course, the modded community is so developed now to where there's just so much out there. It's almost like just a build-it-yourself burger, man. You can just choose what you want. You can customize every part of it. It's like, oh, I don't like that. Well, someone probably made a mod for that. Oh, I do want that. Well, someone probably made a mod for it. And it's just fantastic. So now they've got more units moving in. I mean, we've got, of course, hundreds killed already. Luther's Sermon, right over here, 56 kills. He's like, no one came to listen to me speak, so I'm going to deliver it. I'm going to deliver it firsthand, like that. A fantastic way to get rid of spawn. See, getting rid of spawn like that saves a lot of time. If they don't want to break, if they want to be annoying, then we're just going to smash them. Now, we might get some friendly fire. We've got to be careful, but we might get some friendly fire. We've got over here, of course, Klaus von Sol, our Grand Crusader. He's very tired, so he's not going to be nearly as effective. But of course, he's still out there fighting. It goes to show you that he is debuffed, but still, I've given them so much equipment, so much gear that they can stand for a long time. And again, we're just using the first Granite Shield, still at 179 kills by them. There's another spell hitting them. So if you're curious right now, Otto has 179 kills. Luther has 39 kills. That will only go up. It's been a fairly long battle. It's been pretty interesting because we don't actually have to fight for too many points whenever taking towns. Sometimes that can be effectual, but for the way that we fight, for the army that we have, it's better to do what we're doing now. Now, Klaus over here has over 100 kills. I mean, look at that, 114. He is just smashing. He's a smashing man. Some people think they like to smash. No, he is all about the smash. Unfortunately, they like to make a few weird sounds whenever you hit them because they're Slaaneshi. Oh, could you imagine that? Just like, I don't know, hentai-like sounds whenever you fight them, how uncomfortable that would be. Oh no, that wouldn't be okay at all. That would be horrible. Or in some cases, people would be like, not bad. I like that. It would be uncomfortable. It's like, hey, I'm trying to kill you. Stop liking it. We did lose a few stone axes, but I mean, they're going to replenish in one turn. We can count it off as a casualty, not just a killed in action. They'll be back. Over here, the Archlector got 170 kills. He destroyed them. He's a double hammer man. You know, I played a Paladin back in WoW. I played since 2004 for a long time. I played during the beta, and I played a Paladin back when, what was it, Seal the Crusader, our only good seal back in the day? Wow. Yeah, I remember hearing about WoW back in Warcraft 3, because I played that as well. They had a bunch of interesting custom maps like War of the Jewels. War of the Jewels. I don't know what word just came out. I think Slaanesh got me. Oh, check out that banner. That's horrible. Yeah, I played that a lot. The Second Age was a map too, based of course on the Second Age. They had a great mapping community for that back in the day. All right, so we won that battle. I mean, they could have someone who comes by, but it's over. We've done it. The battle is now won. That was another major win. We lost only 3 men in that entire battle. I did pick up a mod that makes it to where only 50% of your little minor settlement battles will actually be minor settlement battles. Half will be field battles. That way we can change it up a bit. Now over here, the Grand Crusader himself was able to pick up 222 kills. Our captain, 52. Otto, 224. Luther, 102. Our Ironbreakers picked up 164. And our artillery did a lot of killing. Especially the Emperor's Judgment. They have all been judged. 431 kills. Now we gained 5 glory, a lot of gold, 1 item to debuff flying units, and over here, a lot of experience too. Alright, we're not going to return it, no, we're going to hold on to it for them. We've got to unify the Empire, I think. It's got to happen. So one major enemy is now gone. Alright, let's have a look over here. We're going to be able to build up what we need. 1 infirmary. You've got to treat your casualties, wounded and whatnot. Reserves over there. We've got some money. We won't be able to pick it all up. I do want more movement, so we'll take a lookout. After that, we'll come over here, a looting crew. Our chance to get a magical item. I like the idea of crews going out to pick up equipment from a battlefield. Now, let's get our dedication to Sigmar. That gives to us +2 to control, +5 armor, and 1 passive ability for our entire army. Look at that, 15% for physical resistance, 14 for melee defense. Duration 15 seconds, cooldown 3 seconds. Enabled if in melee, recharges if losing melee combat. Nice. Now, we keep on looking. We've got most of what we need for battle. I mean, I could pick up more leadership. If we're breaking, we're in trouble anyway. We've got armor too. Armor would be nice, but we have a lot. So instead, we're going to come down over here to Inspiring Presence. More experience and more leadership for nearby units within our aura of effect. Nice.
Ready to
Okay,
serve.
Luther, what do you need? Later, you get what? Righteous Fury, +5 to melee attack. You've got over here a decent amount, but you need more. More melee attack. I'm going to give him a nice item later on to help out.
Of the weak.
Okay, Captain Wolfgang. Now, you're doing well. I like to have my flying units going after any towers. It works well, I think. A devastating charge, or I could opt for, again, more melee attack. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, for the Meister. Now, our Meister has a lot when it comes to spellcasting. We've got most of what we need, but we need to enhance what we have even more. Flesh to Stone. The Dwellers Below, I do like that spell a lot. It deals a lot of damage to a group, so we'll take that as well. Done. Now, we can't really move, we can't really do too much. We're just gonna wait here for the moment.
Here to serve.
We've got Grazing Pastures, a unique building that we're gonna be able to use for more income and replenishment too. Not to mention growth, which is what we need right now. That way we could upgrade to a tier 2 village. So now we just need to wait for the prince. If he doesn't come to us, we'll go to him. But eventually we're going to redeem everything over here. Now we're outside of Nuln. Here's where we're going to be able to move to Kemperbad in just a moment. Gelt is incredibly powerful. He's got his 3 artifacts right over here. He doesn't really need a hand weapon nor armor. He shouldn't be in melee combat, if I can help it anyway. For his skills, we have a lot already. I mean, we've been able to enhance our army. We've been able to work on our spellcasting. And if we get more points, we'll be able to do even more after that. Now, Captain Otto. He's only rank 26, hopefully in time that'll go up. He's pretty strong too at 547 for his weapon strength. His items are a Stalberg's Letter and Mother's Ruin. So 2 great items. We do need more armor and more talismans. Hopefully in time we'll find better ones. But for now, we're pretty much ready to go. For our army, we've got over here our Solland Sun Riders. We've got our Grenadiers. We're looking at a steam tank and a lot of artillery in general. Beyond that, we've got 2 groups of riflemen, so not too many, but that's because we've got so much artillery that we don't really need more riflemen. And we've also got our Gelt's Guard. Now these guys have 104 armor. They're incredibly good. I don't need halberdiers in my current army for anti-large when I've got these guys. Sure, they don't really have armor piercing, but we don't really need that here because I've got plenty of great swords to help with that. Alright, so we're heading over to Kemperbad. They're led by Haargroth. Now here's a slightly more advanced army, a few basic units like Marauders, but they've got giants, quite a few actually. A Beast of Nurgle, and look at that, Spawn of Nurgle too. Oh, they're going to be a nasty group. However, their 2 heroes and their leader, they're all spellcasters. They're not going to have the magic to keep it up. Oh, but Gelt, he's going to be able to keep it up all the time. Now let's go get our gold right over here in Kemperbad. The battles continue now, and so our brave soldiers fly right in. Imagine that you're flying upon some type of steed. First off, that's got to be nerve-wracking and quite strange to feel. I've gone horseback riding quite a bit, but I couldn't imagine what that would be like in the sky, right? That would be strange. Now, they're going right into enemy territory, and they're going to go after enemy towers too. There's a lot of chaos units here. But we have who we need. We've got very powerful leaders who could devastate them using spellcasting or other such tools. Here comes Gelt. So, look at what they've got. They've got, of course, Haargroth. And they've got many other leaders, including a Beast of Nurgle. So what are we going to use? Quite a few spells to break them apart. Oh god, the detail. It's horrendous. Ugh. They're all about scat here. They're a scat gang. So final transmutation is going to be a massive one. We have one item that allows us to reduce our miscast chance by 50%. So miscasting is whenever things go awry, whenever you have an issue with your spellcasting, whenever you try to overcast, and it can cause, of course, issues for you. But we got rid of that chance. We were able to use our final transmutation to damage all of them. I would rather focus on one target. Now we did use our Averland Rune Thing to debuff the Beast of Nurgle, so it has 0 melee attack. It can't even hit us right now. It's just a wet, diseased noodle at the moment. And so they're going to keep on fighting. Now, Captain Otto is a champion. So not only is he riding on that steed, he's out over here fighting all of them alone. Alone right now. What an alpha. What a Chad just going in there. He's like, I'm Captain Otto. Look at my beard. Okay, my beard is more challenging to untangle than these fools. Now, over here we've got Gregor, our Crusader. He's an awesome warrior priest, and he's going to watch over our units. Of course, we're taking a few bits of damage. They've got some abilities debuffing us, like the Curse of the Slug, but hey, we're not too sluggish. We'll be all right. The bombers are so good. We've got to watch out for enemy towers, of course, but they're going to be able to come over here and just break apart enemy units who are pretty lightly armored, like these Warhounds. Warhounds can be annoying, but they can't do too much. I mean, they try to get to us and they get broken apart. Like already they're wavering. Back over here, we've got more bombers. We've got artillery firing inside. Let's go back to where the big battle is happening at the moment. So again, Gelt is using another transmutation. Surge struck. Oh yeah, trying to overcast. Haargroth is on a crazy mount right now. Oh, he got him. Look at that. Just in time to see that. And I love your hair, by the way. It's very wormy. Yeah. No, I don't love your hair. In fact, you have no style. You're a nerd, and we're going to punish you for that, you diseased nerd. All right, so while that's going on, we're going to zip on out. Haargroth is still around. And we're just going to let them continue fighting. I mean, Captain Otto is so strong. He's being buffed up all the time. We could use a glittering robe to give him more armor and reduce his overall damage that he's taking. Stand your ground for more melee defense. 600 weapon strength, over 100 melee defense right now. He's got another enemy leader taken out at the moment. I mean, what more could you ask for? I don't know why it's getting so quiet whenever I zoom in. I felt like I read that as a bug. I'll just see what's causing that or what I could do to mitigate that issue. I have no idea at the moment. So over here, we of course have our steam tank, Judgment. Now there was a mod released that was meant to make them look better. So I think it does look better, does it not? Looks more detailed. Nice, oh my God, yeah. Look at that, it's beautiful now. Hopefully they end up fixing the textures. From what I understand, there's like a new format on how they are meant to import textures for the newer games, and they didn't do that. That's why some of the older factions look kind of rough right now. But hopefully they do fix that by default, and then modders can focus on other things that we need. A Plague of Rust, reducing armor by 30. So now we're going after that guy, and of course they've got a giant. Now the giant's going to deal a lot of damage. If you ever deal with a giant, they're easy to take down. However, if you don't always have the time to take them down, and they manage to hit you, they do hurt. They really do. They hurt a lot. So there we go. Now we're going after them. We're going to take some hits from that. There's a Searing Doom and a Final Transmutation and Golden Hounds all ripping into these men, these marauders who are nearly all gone. I mean, they've got some numbers left, but that buffer of health you get before you begin to drop like flies, that's gone now. They're going to drop like Nurgle like flies, and Haargroth is now gone too, so we've taken him out, and now they've got that giant close by. We're trying to get out right now. Gelt's taking some damage. So now we just need to get back over here where the main battle is happening at the moment. So we've got, of course, Gregor, who's moving up. I'm moving in my greatswords. Our greatswords are going to join in. They've got Plague Bearers. They've got Chaos Warriors. I mean, conventional battles are already horrible. Imagine having to fight diseased enemies like these, where it's like, oh, okay, I've got a super flu now. Great. Okay. Oh, my foot just fell off. All right, that wasn't meant to happen. No, Nurgle's definitely a fascinating leader. They're certainly focusing on the more flatulent type of side of Nurgle, all about flatulence, but there's a lot more to death and rebirth and decay. But of course that's true of all of the Chaos Gods, and depending on like what type of book you've read or what lore you have sourced from, there are different presentations of the gods. I've seen some pretty interesting ones, but of course what's more commonly known is what they're going for here as far as how they're presenting the gods, because I like seeing different presentations of them. Why? Because it tells me, like, here's why someone might choose to follow them. Because when you look at it at face value, it's like, wow, that doesn't seem like it has a lot of real benefits. Can't remember the book name. I read it years ago. It was about some Norse tribes who were kind of like being caught into the struggle of having to really survive between all of the different more mono god dedicated tribes who were just trying to follow their gods. I can't remember the name, but it was a really cool book. And they were just like, hey, look, we're all cool with the gods and the Empire is not our friend, but we're also just trying to do our own thing out here. We really can't because of what's happening. We've got to stand your ground right over here, buffing them up, giving them more melee defense. And there we go. Look at that, another Final Transmutation. I don't always use it for that many different types of groups. I like to use it for like single target units when I can, but hey, it's working out. We're all just trying to fight them over here. 70 kills right now. Like a cheaper Searing Doom being spammed would probably be a bit more effectual, just using that over and over and over. It's what I've done before, but now they're breaking. If we look elsewhere, I mean, you could see what I'm doing. Think about what I'm doing right now. I'm fighting a battle at so many different places at once. Right over here is where we're trying to move up our artillery just a little bit, just to be able to hit them more. We've killed a lot over here, which is great. And it's a great way for me to target like enemy towers. And back over here, we've got, of course, some infantry. They're going after these warhounds, which is nice. We have a look over to the left. We've got Gelt, who's killed now, what? How many? Not 100 yet, which is unfortunate, but he's trying his best. 89 at the moment. The great swords, I like to try to cycle them out when I can. So like when one group is too tired, like right now, they've got a glittering robe, 189 armor, which is insane. They lost only 5 men so far, and we won. They all fell apart. That's it for them. That was a really good battle for us. We were able to take out their entire army. We didn't get a field battle, but that's okay. We'll have more in the future. We lost only 15 men. We gained 5 glory, a lot of gold, and a lot of experience too. When it comes to punishment, it was our Solland Sunmaker that was able to devastate pretty much all of them. But thanks to Gelt and our Captain Otto, they were able to behead the serpent. They had no leadership. So there we go. In one turn, we advance in 3 different directions. Usually, I try to pick only one area to advance in, but we've got the power now. Here's a scribe for more campaign movement. One dead enemy, another one. Huh, a chaos leader called Mercy. Well, he got none.
Let us begin.
Oh, look at that, we're going beyond 40. Okay, I'll take it. I won't question it, I'm not mad about it. Which means we're gonna put points down over here to help out when it comes to our basic soldiers. They all need help, they all just need a bit of love out there. Here we go, Honest Steel. We'll take that because I want my greatswords to deal even more damage in combat. Perfect. Alright. For the captain, I'm gonna give him more armor. Plus 15, he's at 154. Whenever we use our glittering robes on him from Gelt's spell list, he had over 200 armor. That's incredible. Now, Gregor. A point over here in tenacity. He's got it. Perfect. So we just get to wait here for a turn. Unfortunately, there is a plague. We're gonna have to contend with it. Here's my infirmary. But look at how much we've done in one turn. And by the way, here's our unique building for our field camp. We've got a field lab, providing even more magic. It's a nice little benefit to have. Okay, reduce upkeep. That's gonna pay off very well. A lookout. And I want to pick up my looting crew, because again, we want more magical items. I could fuse a few trash ones and make better ones. Later, we'll build up what we can over here in Kemperbad. We'll go after another army. Reichland might even be able to push out and take more lands. We want to get them to like us. Right now, they're at 8 fealty. We'll try to get more points. That way, we can confederate. There's pretty much no one left. We've got over here, what? Reichland and what? Ah, over here, Stirland. They're at the mood. They're partying with a bunch of halflings. Yeah, they probably want to join us. So after that, we finally get to end our turn. For technology, we have a lot already. We've come over here. +1 to camp limit. Construction time down by 25%. I was able to pick up some benefits for my ranged units, but we're going to work on firing drills right now. Reload time reduction for artillery. That way they can just shoot a little bit faster. We have a unique battle before us right now. The enemy army is actually divided into 2, which is why we've got our own army divided into a few different areas. The mainstay of our infantry is being led by Crusader Luther Nimitz. They're going to be over here, our greatswords and halberdiers. We've got 2 pairs of our horsemen. They're waiting right now. They're going to move in later, which you'll see. And over here is where we've got Klaus, Otto, and Captain Wolfgang. Normally, I've got my artillery where they can kill many more infantry, but their target today is not enemy infantry, but rather the Flying Prince. He's coming in right now, which is a tragic mistake on his part. So let's watch all of them move in, but before we do that, we've got to check out the major charge they've got coming towards us. The Warhounds have met us. They're not going to get very far. My goal originally was to have my greatswords charge in, but it's really alright. They don't have to, it's only Warhounds. The infantry, they're moving in too. I've already got my horsemen charging out right now. They might not be needed, but in case they are, they're on the way anyway. And look at that, my artillery right now is going after the prince. He's taking a lot of damage. He's very strong, so we've got to watch out for him. Here he goes. Our tower's close by. I've used a net from our Luminarch, and he's used his own spell to break apart a group of my halberdiers, which is really unfortunate. Captain Wolfgang is charged in, and he's very good, sure, but he could still take a lot of damage, so we've got to watch out. And already, you can look at him. He's hurting Wolfgang. We've been able to hurt him. He was able to overcast and get a debuff, and right now he's got some health points left. Their chariots are trying to break through my halberdiers, but it hasn't worked out. We've got, of course, the Grand Crusader close by. And there we go, we've got Otto who's close too. And together, they're fighting the prince. And look at that, more spells are being used over right by our infantry. He's got over 700 health. I mean, he's dealt a lot of damage to the captain already. Let's just watch this part of the battle play on. And there we go. We got him. He's been pummeled. Here comes more infantry. We'll check on them later on. If we come over here, we can see that my horsemen are moving in. They've been able to maintain their line as well, but we're winning. We're winning the fight today. We're slowly cutting through their marauders. We're going through their warhounds. And the Crusader has been able to, of course, support the middle of our formation. He's got over 60 kills. My warrior priests have been doing a lot, and my horsemen are now charging after what's left, after those who are trying to flee. We've got our Knights Panther. They're following them. The Soul's Blades close by. And if we go over to where their main formation was at, those chariots are done for. They're running away now. Otto is chasing after some of them now, some Chaos Chariots. We've got a few more that we need to break over here, but they're largely done for. Our Halberdiers have only gotten over 20 kills, but they've held. Our other group, no kills at all. The Marauders are in trouble. And right now we've got a Soulfire just breaking right through them. I've got, of course, my Sigmar's Lessons who are going to eventually go after them. We want to watch out for friendly fire, but it's a great way to rip right through a little bit of their infantry. And there we go. We've got satchels being thrown in. Of course, a little bit of friendly fire, so I've got to watch out, but that breaks all of them. My Ironbreakers moved right in, over 30 kills, and we broke the other portion of their army too. So on two sides, we beat them simultaneously. It's a brief battle, but it's one that we've won rather well. So the prince is gone now, and we're going to be able to redeem Ostermark. There we are. We've done it. We charged down to all of them, and we were able to win. We also picked up a new shield, the Shield of Tolos. I could combine it later on once I get another shield, and we could get a better item. Kill them all. We've got to. I didn't need to use our little paltry garrison. They need to rest up. Our Longbeards did well. Our warrior priest did well. 94 kills, not bad. There we go now. But they had a lot of chariots too, and those could have been very painful, but we were able to stop them. Lord of Torment, you want to fight? I don't know why the Wood Elves are allied to Heinrich, but they are. That just kind of feels like a Wood Elf thing to do. I don't know. Being a little weird and shady. Alright. Boris Todbringer. No, you're not going to be around for much longer. We've got Karangas. Naturally, I'm going to join them. Unfortunately, whenever I join wars like that, that introduces new issues where they could attack me. Alright, over here, the undead no longer want to fight. That's fine, they're very far away. And over here, Chilfroy. Oh, you want to fight eventually? Okay. The Bretonnians will probably make a bad choice. Here's Wiseman. They demand a region. You know what? Franklin, hold on to it. Midland, I'm very sorry, but you're not going to be here for much longer. Alright, so we have a new turn now. Duty over beauty. We beat him. More leadership and more weapon strength. Though not much, but hey, I'll take a benefit. I don't need to worry about a mission. Down over here, we've got Captain Heiner. He's doing fine. Let's move up real quick and have a look at our other army where we did rank up. Rank 25. That's really good. So we've got, again, all of our combat capabilities. What we're going to pick up right now is going to help out our melee units. There we are. I want them to be able to do well in combat. Now, for Luther, at his current level, let's give him Righteous Fury, +5 to melee attack. He needs a lot more. Wolfgang, who is 1 point, Blade Shield. There we are, more melee defense, so he's able to last in battle. And for Otto, a point into the Dwellers below. So where do we need to go? Thankfully, the prince came to attack me, so now we're going to be able to easily move over here, take out one army. We only need to auto-resolve because, I mean, they're already pretty weak. We've beaten them. A Sword of Strife, a new item, and a Scribe. Oh, beautiful. Chaos Breaker, a new trait gained. Again, all these little benefits are only adding up. That's why we're doing so darn well. Alright, so we've got Noggenhof over here. I would like to take it over, but I would also like to go after the one army close by, because if I'm moving around, they could easily come on over and bother us. Now, unfortunately, I did lose a lot in that battle. That's okay, though. We didn't lose any entire units. Oh, look at my lessons. My lesson plan is really good. Over 500 lessons learned. 562. That gave me gold and a new standard, +25 to a charge bonus and 7% too. Wow. That's going to be great to have. So we're not going to hold on to the wood. No, I don't want to deal with it. There we go. We've made paper, a lot of paper. Alright, so now we just need to rest up for a bit. We can't really do too much over here at the moment. We've got to encamp, which we are not doing right now. And I can't really move any further out. So we'll have like one turn where we just need to wait over here and chill out for a bit. Now we did rank up again. 2 more points. We'll take that. over here, I could use even more damage in combat. I mean, we're stacking up so much damage in combat, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Tenacity. Okay, Wolfgang. For you, let's give you more armor. It's a little bit, but we'll take it. Upgraded Earthblood. I use it a lot. And Bernhard, what do you need? You've got 1 new rank point. Blade Shield, of course. No, Wound Maker. There we go. 722 weapon strength. He is rising. Alright, so one army is all done over here. They're going to move back down over to Essen, or just go straight over to Mordheim, which is more likely. Then later we'll come over here to Nagenhof, and hopefully later get the capital, but that is very far up north. For General Bernhard, he's going to move over here to the east. We need to take Varenka Hills. After that, we'll go after the Forest of Gloom. I'm going to give it over to the dwarves later on, not yet though. Yeah, we'll take it over. I don't need to build it up too much. We've got Orcsbane, more hit points, campaign movement, income, and leadership. Nice. A war horse for Franken. Yeah, that mission is over. It was a bad mission anyway. These missions are way too low grade. For the Bright Wizard, rank 7. We'll put a point over here into evasion. That way, on our following levels, we can get a few other spells over to the right. Alright, so we just need to rest up. It'll take some time to replenish, but that's okay. We are doing it. What we could do later on is actually move out of it, form our own encampment, then replenish a bit faster. I would like Auchendorf, but it's fine if they hold on to it. Now, we have an issue. The Pirates of Sartosa are moving up here. They've got major armies, and right now they're not fighting the dwarfs. Which means at the moment, Captain Heiner, I want you to move down over here to Fort Sol. Hold on to it. We're going to have our general defend Blackfire Pass. We could keep him up here after taking the Forest of Gloom, because right now, again, the dwarves are doing well. In fact, why don't they go to Dok Karaz? That would save me a lot of time if they did that. That way, the general could come back. We want him to be back quickly. Let's have a look over here. Elector counts. Okay, so Karl has taken over another area. That's good. He's got, what, 2 over here, including Altdorf. That would be 3. We just need to push up north. But again, eventually we are going to confederate. Musion has Marienburg. That's going to be an interesting endeavor. So now, let's move on down in just a moment. We just need to use our bravado right over here. Fast and furious. We need to move further. Now, oh, we're still not there, are we? We're not. We're so darn close. What we'll do, we'll move like halfway. Right over here. I was hoping we get to replenish a bit. And right over here, let's pick up builds because we need growth. We need a lot of it. Now, while we are here, we're just going to pick up whatever buildings we're able to get, like a blacksmith. Done. I mean, we'll just build them all. That way, we don't need to see the prompt, and they're all benefits too, like more income. I like it, and I've got it. So we've done all that we can right now. We can't move again. We're only able to wait. I'm able to build up a new outpost. I mean, they could betray me, which would be bad. I could have given them the woods nearby, but I chose not to. So construct outpost, that should do it. They don't need a good target, do they? Not right now. Or I could have them go after Grom, who's actually going after one of our areas too. Oh, I don't like that. Oh yeah, he's coming over. So that means we might need a leader close by to help out. Now he's going to be able to reach, what? One location. Karak Osgaraz. Oh, that won't be fun for me. So right now, let's just pick up a good general over here, or even an archlector. Oh yeah, look at him. These two are pretty good, strong. That's very good too. There goes a bit of my money, but that's all right. I won't be able to pick up too much right now, but that's okay too. We're just gonna wait. I'll take that group. Yeah, we're gonna have to move back, potentially with our good leader Gelt to go after Grom, who's invading over here in the west. So we've got 2 new factions coming to bother us. And here we have General Bernhard. We'll go after the Forest of Gloom. There we go. An easy win. We've gained a potion of speed. Those are okay to use. I'll occupy it too, because I want to give it to the dwarves. They might even pay me. Who knows? One more faction gone. It's been here for the entire game, and now it's gone already. So 2 more levels to go, then Bernhard will have a Gryphon. That will change up a lot. We'll pick up Deadly Onslaught. That's a major benefit to our damage. And our Witch Hunter will give him, let's see, Stalker. More campaign line of sight. How handy. Okay, 1 point over here for Malachi. Now Malachi, let's just give you more ammo, or give us more ammo. Perfect. I'll take that. So now we're just going to want to leave. We're getting out of here. That means right now I need to talk to our dwarf friends. Well, you know what I want to give you. Take that for one. Not a lot of money, but that's okay. There's one area. We'll go back now. Varenka Hills too. And I could use a bit more money. Now they've got 2 more new towns and they are connected. Their lands are connected. We still do need to help out, though Bernhard might need to take a detour to go after the pirates and potentially another enemy army. Now Gelt could go back down and go after Grom. He might have to. We're going to lose some lands, but hey, it happens. They caught us off guard. Though for now, let's go after Workbad. Here's why. We might lose a small town for now, but eventually we're going to have it again. Though we want to gain our elector count seats. It'll give us more power. Chaos Breaker, a new trait for Gelt. For him at level 43, pretty easy. There we go. More armor and damage for our great swords. We're going to be able to fight very elite units. Oh, right. Our heroes too. 1 new level. Let's give to him Scarred Veteran, more hit points again. It's pretty beefy already. Now for the Crusader, Wild-Eyed, more melee attack. He's got magical and sundering attacks too, reducing their armor by 30, which is fantastic. What a great way to weaken your enemies. Alright, so after that, we've got our friend, the Grand Crusader. Let's come over here to Mordheim and take it over, or we could go after the capital in like 1 more turn. That would be nice to have it. I like the idea because I don't want the Emperor to have it. Unfortunately, it would expose us to the north, but hey, I'll take a gamble. We'll try it out. And the Duchy of Artois, they no longer want a non-aggression pact. What a bad idea. So pretty soon we're going to need a new army, I think. I'll leave you here right now, Archlector. Captain Heiner, you might need a cheap army. Yeah, he's over here in Fort Sol, but either way, we'll keep them all here for right now because I don't know which way Grom might move, but he's moved in, which is quite annoying for me. So we'll come on down over here and take a few cheap units. There we go. That should do it. And after that, if we want to, we could actually reduce upkeep or even gain some income. You know what? There we go. Reduce upkeep. I don't know if I'll need you again, but we'll just take you and your buildings too, just to have a few benefits where we're able to pick them up. Yeah, perfect. There we go. So now if I need them again, they'll be a little bit better in the future. Money is power, you're not wrong. So now we've got more authority. We're at 4 now. We're doing pretty darn well. Norn is under attack by Grom. I did pick up a new leader, Crusader Captain Hoffman. He's all alone. I've made him a good elector count of Stirland. Oh boy, that's a really big army. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do over here. We're going to pick up, for now, a bit more melee attack. There we go. We do have allied recruitment, which is great. I need any help. Anything at all, really. We'll take those, yeah, if we can. After that, Einer, I want you to wait over here. Gelt, you're going to have to come on down. Yeah, so here's what we're going to do then. We'll come down over here to Flensburg. We'll take it. We might lose 1 or 2 places, but hey, we're doing what we can. Occupy again. We don't want to leave our mission incomplete. We're going to be able to upgrade our field camp. A bit more income for us too. Easy replenishment. Let's have a look over here at the east. There we go. Some bad attrition, but again, a minor garrison to beat up. It's all great training for us. We'll be stronger for it later on. We've got it. Bane of Chaos. An upgraded trait. We've got a nearby army. I don't like that. Let's upgrade. Down over here, we'll get our blacksmith. And also we'll pick up, what else? A junkman for more money. Okay. So now after that, we're going to be able to move back down or go after that army. But either way, their lands are divided. Here's where we've got to move a little bit more. General Bernhard, we could have you go after all 3 armies or 2.5 armies, or we move a bit further back. Let's do that instead. I could take them out 1 by 1, but instead I think I want to come over here and just fight them all together. I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, for Gelt, we've got to get him a bit closer. He's not where he needs to be. Norn, you're just in a really bad location for me. Let's have a look over here. Grimhold, you've got a pretty decent garrison. Norn, you could hold out for a bit of time. We could also just keep on conquering, but I've got to go after that blasted greenskin army. That's really been the one thing that has been able to stop me so far, has been the greenskins hopping right into that mountain pass. Otherwise, we could go everywhere and just defeat everyone. Okay, so we've won what we need to over here. We just need to go to Noggenhof. Now, we don't want to just barge right in and go crazy. So we're going to form our encampment and we're going to stay calm. There, we get some replenishment. We've got some happy people here. For technology, we've got to pick up some more damage, I think. I've got money, so why not pick up more damage? Volley fire would be really good. Reload time reduction for all of my ranged units. We've got to do it. Oh, if only we could have that, though. Like a bunch of Napoleon Total War fire mechanics. Oh, that would be tremendous. So we're going to pick out someone over here just to fill out that role. Now, I'm going to be able to give Troll Cleaver to someone. Bonus when fighting large, plus 32. That's crazy. That's really good. I wonder who I want to give it to. I feel like I need another leader for that, but we've got some options over here. We've got naturally our dear Archlector. He's a great choice too. We've got a few other people. Luther's been really good. We could give it to him. You know what? Let's do it. Oh, look at that. I'm going to have him hunt down some major creatures. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got another fantastic blade to use. Do we have any type of ancillaries to give to him? We do. A camp follower. All right, we've got a few. Perfect. That'll work out. I've got to get more magical items later on. Our authority's gone up to 3, which is nice to have. We can't really upgrade anything. When it comes to a majority of our lands, we are pretty happy. We've got to take out Needling, which is over to the east. I do want it. So we're going to take out Noggenhof. Then we'll come over here to Mordheim, and if we can, we'll take out Krugenheim and Needling, and after that, we'll have a lot of land altogether. Now, if Reichland would like to confederate, we'll probably do it. They like us a lot, so it's very likely, though we're going to have a battle pretty soon. Probably over here or at Karak Norn, where we've got that major greenskin army. The Wood Elves over here, well, they were Wood Elves and did nothing to help me, which means Bernhard might end up going over to the west to take care of everything. That is, unless our dwarf friends are unable to go after the pirates at any point, he could come down over here where they have a major base of operations, and that's beginning to tick me off a little bit. The undead pirates are on their way now. Once we're back, we're going to have to contend with them. It's going to be a major battle. If Bernhard is able to do it, then we're going to be able to delegate his forces to another arena for our campaign. Thank you for watching, everyone, and look forward to another part very soon. Until then.